name is Toastmasters and I am playing the role of Sagar now for the meeting number 489. Before I start the meeting, I would like to mention some ground rules which we follow in the Toastmaster meeting. Please turn off your electronic devices that may produce some audible sound, cell phone, watches, etc. Anything that is, please turn off your mobile phone and put it on silent mode. As a Toastmaster, we don't talk about sex, religion and politics, so please refrain from discussing these topics. Please do not cross talk. Please note this meeting is being recorded and it will be uploaded on YouTube for everyone to watch. As everybody in their life has mission to achieve their goals, like our Toastmaster Club has also a mission. So I ask everyone to stand up and the mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Our presiding officer for today's meeting is someone Toastmasters in September 18. I would like to invite our president of our club, Toastmaster Ashish.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Once again, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I think everyone has already had their breakfast with a little more energy. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I extend my warm welcome to all the fellow Toastmasters and the guests to 489th meeting of Millennium City Toastmasters Club. Let me ask you a question. What is the difference between capability and capacity? I think you come across this term quite often, and these two terms are used quite interchangeably. So, anyone will help me know what is the difference between capacity, capability, and the capacity? Pretty simple.
Capacity is something that you're delivering at the moment, the extent to which you can deliver at the moment. Capability is something which there's a potential for further improvement and incremental data is also there. So if you sum up capacity with that incremental data, it will give you capability. What you can do if given right resources.
Okay. So as the name suggests, capability is something is related to your ability. Right? So your ability to better in whatever things you are doing. Right? If you are making the things better, what you are doing, you are actually improving the capability of it. But when you talk about the capacity, it is about doing more of what you are doing. Right. So one talks of the quality, the other talks of the quantity. And in order to be successful in life or in order to make progress in any of the field, you have to keep a good balance between these two. So keep improving your capability and keep increasing your capacity. So do you all agree with that?
Yes.
So few announcement. I like to first of all congratulate Toastmaster Hus. He has recently joined the EC committee and helping as an associate vice president membership, and will be closely working with our vice president VP membership Toastmaster Sonu, and they will work together and make sure that we sustain and boost our membership in the club. And also would like to congratulate Toastmaster Surinder, who has also taken up a role of associate vice president education. He will be closely working with Toastmaster Sonu, the current vice president education, and will ensure that the education journey of the member is enriching in the club. With that also, I am opening a role for Vice President, Associate Vice President membership. So whosoever is interested to take up this role can get in touch with me or Toastmaster Kritika. We'll talk about this role in detail. It's a great opportunity for all of you to take up this role and enhance your skill on this particular role that we have available. So, guest introduction. I think we have a couple of guests here. So, I would like to request the guest to introduce yourself briefly and tell us about the purpose behind joining this meeting today. So, we'll start with okay.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Should I come there? My name is Abhishek Sena and I am from Toastmasters Club of Speaking and Leadership. And today I am here to witness all the amazing speakers of MCTC. Our meetings happen at Himachal Bhavan, Mandi House. And today I have a role of an evaluator. So I hope this will be an amazing meeting.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thanks. Yes. You can speak from there as well.
I myself Ajay and I have joined come here to learn something new, like motivated people and their speech so that I can increase my English as well as communication. So this is my second time I am here. So to learn new things.
Okay, great to have you here in the club. Yes.
Good morning everyone, myself Marika and I've been searching for a platform to enhance my public speaking skills and therefore I got here. I got to know about Toastmasters. So here I am to grow with the husbands.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Snehita. I am from Gurgaon Toastmasters Club. Today here I will be delivering a speech. I am preparing for international speech contest. Heard a lot about MCTC. We have Dipanshu coming regularly to our club and talking a lot. Very excited to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I think you have. You are doing your icebreaker.
Yeah, so this will be my icebreaker. I've been here quite a few times and familiar faces as well. Looking forward to deliver my icebreaker and gather some amazing feedback from the team. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. A big round of applause for all the guests. Yeah, sorry, I missed you.
Hi, my name is Saurabh Malik. I have been a Toastmasters pre-COVID pandemic. I was treasurer of Toastmasters Club of West Delhi. We have recently shifted to Gurgaon and I was planning to restart my Toastmasters journey. So I'm back here and this is the club which is nearest to my place. So, looking forward to collaborate with all of you.
Oh, so this is I spoke to you yesterday, I believe. I messaged, we were in touch.
Yeah.
Oh, great to have you. Please have a seat.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so moving on, coming to the Toastmaster of the Day theme. Today, the theme is called The Art of Delivering Speeches. So this is going to be a very interesting session for all of you. It's not been designed considering that the ISC contest is in the next week. It's going to benefit everybody whosoever is present in the club today because it will help you craft your speech well, understanding the nitty-gritty of delivering speeches. So it's going to be a very value-added session for all of you. And to do this session, we have someone who is, I'll call him a person of many shades, and he's a veteran Toastmaster, passionate public speaker, won many awards for the club at area, division and district level. He's a health and fitness freak and he is a thought leader in the field of agriculture, voracious reader and reads across different genres, and he is someone who is learning for life. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together and give a very warm and energetic welcome to Toastmaster Bakul Joshi.
So very long introduction makes me a bit nervous, right? Because then you have to live up to that introduction. I'll try my best with that nervousness. But in public speaking, the first learning which we all should have is we should never feel nervous. When we are here, we should be in command of the stage. So that is first learning, right? So I'm nervous, but I'll not make you feel I'm nervous, okay? So that's why it is. Welcome to meeting number 489. That means this club has been meeting for last 8 years, maybe?
9 years, we're going to be 10 years in
10 years, yeah. 10 years we have been meeting, and I have been the witness for last 8 years. I have been the member for last 8 years, okay? And I owe a lot to this club because they, at this club, contributed a lot in my communication journey, in my leadership qualities. Doesn't mean that I have perfected, and that is the reason I'm continuing this journey. Okay, I'll not take much time because my main section, the art of delivering effective speech, is going to take little longer time. Okay, so are you all fine with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a resounding yes. Can we say yes?
Yes.
Okay. So for the guests, there are many guests here. This is the theme today. The meeting will have 3 sections. One is prepared speeches, so there are 3 prepared speeches. We have 2 guest speakers who have come from the other club, and there is 1 speaker from our own club. Then we have table topics, which are impromptu speeches. You have to think. In prepared speeches, you prepare and come. In impromptu, you are given a topic here. You have to think on your toes and speak. Okay, because many a times in our life we may have to give impromptu speeches. If we practice here in a confined environment with familiar audience, possibly we may be able to handle that outside as well. And third is evaluation, better listening. So evaluation section is the heart, and so every speaker is evaluated. So he or she gets to know actually what are the areas he or she has to make improvement. So these are the 3 sections. I request all the guests, don't jump to any conclusion. We judge things very fast, right? But don't do that. Just go through the proceedings, and then at the end you will get to know how this entire club or every Toastmaster club runs. Okay, ballot paper, you all will be given a virtual ballot paper where request all to fill the form when circulated, right? So you all will be given, we select best speaker, best impromptu speaker, best evaluator, and many things. Okay, and every speaker when he speaks, after the speech, are you all with me?
Yes.
After the speech, you all are given 1 minute time to give feedback to that speaker. So everybody is requested to give a very quality feedback. What we write, oh, great speech, wonderful speech. No, that is not the feedback. Just write in 1 minute what you liked, what are the areas the speaker can improve. If at all you are the speaker and you get feedback from 20 more audience members, don't you think it will help you improve your speech? Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. So request all of you to spend quality 1 minute time in giving feedback to all the speakers. Okay. Word of the day, every week we learn new word. This might be familiar with some of you. Articulate, having or showing, explaining something very, very clearly. So if at all, I have seen every leader I have met with. I have traveled in different parts of the world and have seen the people who are great leaders, they can articulate their thoughts very well. The best communicators, they articulate their thoughts very well. So synonyms are eloquent, expressive, vivid, and well spoken. And antonyms are inarticulate, I mean, very naturally, that hesitant, unclear, right? Beating around the bush, not coming to the point. So that is, and like, she is an intelligent and articulate speaker. That means when she speaks, audience can fully understand. Okay, and he was very articulate about his feelings on the subject. So that is another way to use it. So whenever somebody comes on the stage and uses this word, we give thumbs up. Are you all with that? Right?
Yes.
So if at all I am saying, so if at all I am articulate in delivering this topic, so he raised the thumb, but you did not raise thumbs up. Okay? So articulation is when I use the word, you give thumbs up to me. For that to matter, anybody coming here, you give thumbs up, by which the word is repeatedly used, and if at all we don't use it, we lose it. So we want to repeatedly use it, and it is said that repetition is the mother of
Keeping things in mind.
repetition is the mother of
Habit.
Necessity is mother of. Repetition is mother of.
Retention.
Repetition is mother of. Retention, right? So more we repeat, more we retain. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So one more learning is whenever you are on stage, bring smile on the face. Because if you have a smile on the face, the people who are preparing for international speech contest, even if you are nervous, your smile should not disappear. Of course, depending on the topic you are speaking, if it is a serious topic and you are having smile on the face, then it may go against you. But yeah, the right expression at the right time. But there are no expressions, the smile is the best expression because it improves look also. Would you all agree with that?
Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll start with a joke. So we have a gentleman. I forgot his name. Chirag, yeah, Chirag. Why? Chirag upar chala gaya. Okay. Toastmaster Chirag. He is around? Yes, Chirag. Welcome. Chirag is our member since September 2022, a young guy from Delhi University. Possibly, I am 60 years and he is 19. So this is different. So we both are in a learning journey together. And I am very happy that he has started his journey well on time. Okay, I appreciate that. And his hobbies are reading and watching movies. All youngsters, they watch movies. So he is going to crack a joke. And cracking joke is also a speech. Okay, so how he delivers that, see. All the best.
So good morning everyone. Once a couple visits a dental clinic and the husband and wife are discussing, so the dentist comes over and asks the husband that why are you here, what you want me to do for you. So the husband moves forward and tells the dentist that we want a tooth to be removed. Do you know how to remove a tooth? Then he says yes. Okay, so but it will take me around 1.5 hours to do the complete procedure because I have to give the anesthesia first. Then the husband says, I don't have that much time because I have a movie at 10 a.m. and it's already 9:30 a.m. Then please don't give the anesthesia. And he says, would you be able to bear the pain? Oh, don't care about the pain. Don't care about the pain. It's our thing. So the dentist thinks in mind that what a brave man he is, that he fears no pain and not allowing me to give the anesthesia to kill the pain. So he says, okay, brave man, open your mouth and tell me that what tooth you want to be removed. Then he turns to his wife and says, wife, open your mouth and just tell me which tooth to be removed. So thank you everyone.
Thank you for a nice job. Okay. Second, our Toastmaster Sonu, she was a Toastmaster Club member in Bombay. Now she has shifted here and she has been the member. She is our general evaluator. She has been here, Toastmaster Club member since February 2022. A finance profession, plays with the numbers, right? Hobbies are spending time with family and exploring different places. So she keeps moving to different parts of the world, and she is our general evaluator today, and she will introduce her auxiliary evaluators as well. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sonu, and I am general evaluator for today's meeting. As a general evaluator, I will be evaluating throughout the meeting. I will be taking the notes, and towards the end of the meeting, I will let you know what was good and what should be done to make it better. For smooth conduct of this role, I have three auxiliary role players with me. Number one is Toastmaster Gaurav. He is playing the role of timer. I would request Toastmaster Gaurav to come forward and tell about his role.
Thank you, Sonu. So one of my friends used to say that I am not procrastinator. I am very good at doing unimportant things in my life. So that is about time. So I'm Samay today, and with that, my role is to we monitor and record the time for each meeting segment and each speaker. I will operate the timing signal indicating to each speaker how long he or she has been talking. For prepared speeches, the green card will be shown as 5 minutes, yellow will be shown at 6 minutes and red will be shown at 7 minutes. The speaker shall have 30 seconds to close. Similarly, green, yellow and red for table topics, green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, red at 2 minutes. For evaluations, green card will be shown at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5 and red at 3 minutes. The speaker shall have 30 seconds more to close. In addition, I shall signal the president, toastmasters, table topic master and general evaluator with red card when they have reached their allotted or agreed upon time. When called by general evaluator, I shall announce the speaker's name and time taken. I shall also mention those members who are eligible for voting. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Second role player with us today is grammarian. So for grammarian role, we have Toastmaster Kritika. I would request Toastmaster Kritika to come forward and introduce herself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonu. So, good morning everyone. I'm Toastmaster Kritika Manani and today I'm playing the role of grammarian for today's meeting. When we speak, we all know that grammar plays a very important role. Sometimes, while speaking, we just, with a slip of our tongue, we use awkward usage of awkward phrases or some very silly grammatical mistakes. So do note down all those and to just letting you all know the improvements which we can make. I'll be noting down all the good usages of words and phrases as well as not so good usages of words and phrases or awkward usages for today's meeting, and at the end I would provide my report when called upon by Toastmaster Sonu. Additionally, I would also request all of you to use the word of the day, which is articulate, already provided by the Toastmaster of the day. And thank you. I'll be providing the report when called upon.
With us, third role player is Aha Counter. So the role is being played by Toastmaster Ayush. I would request Toastmaster Ayush to come forward and introduce his role.
Good morning, Toastmasters. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. As an R counter, I shall take note of crutch words such as well, but, so, and you know. Sounds such as Repeat words such as I, or this means. In addition, I shall listen to everyone for long pauses, used as fillers and not as a necessary part of sentence structure. When called upon by general evaluator, I shall present my report.
With this, now.
Yeah.
With this, keeping timing in mind, I hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. So, are you all ready now?
Yes.
Yes. Art of delivering public speech or delivering speech. I have divided this into 3 sections. This is part 1. Judging criteria, big picture and structure. How to structure the speech, okay? So first of all, who all are intending to participate in international speech contest? 1, 2, 3, 4, and why you are not raising your hand? You are participating. Oh, you are ready. What about you? Rather, everybody should participate. Everybody. It's altogether a different experience, I tell you. Right? So do not hesitate. You will get to know how these contests are more organized, how systematically Toastmasters International work. For you to understand even that process, participate. That's one. So first of all, to deliver an effective public speech in international speech contest in Toastmaster community, what we should know first is how your speech is going to be evaluated. Would you like with that?
Yes.
Yes. So let's get into that. So I'm covering all these areas: big picture, structure, opening, closing, and do's on them and don'ts in delivering public speeches. Okay. First of all, this is very busy chart, but this is exactly International Speech Contest Judges Guidance Ballot. These are the areas in which you will be evaluated. Are you all with me?
Yes.
First is your content. Content has 50 marks. 50 marks. And content involves 3 areas. Your speech development, how you have structured your speech, how organized you are in terms of your content, and the support material you are using. Some data, some pros, like when I was delivering my international speech contest and my speech, I had a theme around Bhagavad Gita. So I had used Bhagavad Gita, right, as one of the support material, right? So that's the way it is. Second is effectiveness, like architecture, achievement of the purpose, interest, reception, like when you speak, how audience respond to your content, that is the second. And then speech value, your ideas, your logic, like whether the thought is original or it is carried from somewhere. So if at all you are going to deliver your speech, better you select the topic from your own life. That will help you. But I had delivered twice and I had reached at semi-final level, but semi-final level I lost also because people come so well prepared and will discuss. So that is one, content. Second is delivery. It has got 30 parts, right? So delivery is your physical appearance. You should be well dressed, right? You should not look very odd. Your body language. You know what is the importance of body language in public speaking? Any idea? I have shared with some old Toastmasters Club.
It's around 52% of the...
Yes, you are spot on. If at all I have to give 100 marks in public speaking, 52 marks goes to body language. It's not how you speak, but how your body speaks, right? So body language is very important. Second is your voice modulation. And do you know what is the importance of voice modulation?
Close to 38%.
38% is voice modulation. So how do you modulate, right? And like wherever there has to be an emphasis, you have to really raise your voice, lower your voice, and that is voice modulation. And third one is the manner, right? Directness, assurance, enthusiasm. Like today I am going to deliver a speech on Bhagavad Gita. You are not showing your enthusiasm. Come on, right? When you are speaking on a scripture which can give direction to the entire world, your enthusiasm should speak. Are you getting my point? Are you all with me on that?
Yes.
Yeah. So 3 areas: your body language, your voice modulation, and your enthusiasm. And that should be very, very captivating to the audience. And third, like the language, appropriate language, appropriate use. It's not that you have to use very fancy words, very simple language, right? Gandhiji has said, greatest truths are the simplest. You don't try to decorate your language with too complicated a word and audience get lost, right? So that's one. And second is grammatical corrections. So your speech should be grammatically correct. Whenever I prepared my speech, I gave it to my daughters. And because they both have studied in English medium, till 12th standard I had studied in Gujarati medium, my English was not that good. They found every possible mistakes, and when they have to correct their father, they will find all the possible mistakes, right? And that will perfect my speech. Always they are my judge, right? I deliver my speech also to them. So they will tell you, hey, Dad, this area you did not do well, right? So always deliver speech to your spouses and your kids if you have. Because they are the biggest critic in the family. Would you all agree with that? Is that an experience you have? Because I have. So this is the judging criteria, okay? And then, so I mentioned that, and thank you. Right? Importance in body language. Your body should really convey the message. A man has come on the stage, and then when you go on the stage, we move on the stage and all. But some repeated body language. See, some people have a habit, right? They speak like this, right? So, then your entire attention, audience attention, where will it go?
Body
language. This one is repeating. Now the content is lost, what is speaking is lost, only the repeat gesture. People pay attention. Would you agree?
Yes.
Be very careful. So record your speech and see exactly where do you stand. Is there any repeat gestures? No, don't putting your hands, not like this, not like this. These are the signs of nervousness. Right? So, and voice modulation I have discussed, so I will not get into that. And remember, A speech is a compelling story. It should build a story. From start till end, it should captivate the audience. The people, the best speakers are best storytellers. You listen to Barack Obama. You listen to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. You listen to Narendra Modi. You listen to many world leaders. When they speak, they weave a story. Right? So that's what very, very important. Now, big picture in speech writing. First, you should know exactly what you want to accomplish from your speech. Right? You want to educate, you want to make a research presentation, you want to entertain the audience, you want to inspire audience, you want to argue on a point, right? So there are different. First of all, you have to decide exactly your speech is going to deliver what, right? So invariably through ballot, you go through the ballot and know the judging criteria and build accordingly. I'll share these charts to all of you. I'll share all these charts to all of you, right? So do not worry, even the guests can get that. That is not a problem. Now, which audience you are going to address? Is it your familiar audience? Are you delivering the speech at a club level? It's a different audience. Would you agree with that? Yes. If at all you are delivering at area level, still some familiar audience, because your club members would be there. But the moment you go out of area level, division level, audience will be unknown. They may turn out to be a hostile audience. Right? So you have to be careful. Don't worry on that. Don't get nervous about that. It is your speech which can captivate people, right? Even if it is hostile audience, I have handled audience in my life and I know it. You have to be very, very ready as to what kind of audience you are handling, right? Whether it's a friendly audience or hostile audience, and what is the knowledge on the subject they have, right? So that also we have to keep in mind. How much is the duration of your, this is the most important. Do you know once I lost only because of how many seconds? 4 seconds. I exceeded my speech by 4 seconds. I delivered the best speech, but I lost it. So you have to be very, very careful. So duration helps decide the content. Right? Helps decide time allocated. Opening, every speech has to be divided into how many parts? Opening, body, and conclusion. Right? And disqualification because of the duration is criminal. Right? 7 minutes 30 seconds, you should close your speech by 7 minutes 25 seconds or 28 seconds. How can you achieve it? Can anybody answer? By practicing. Do you know, when I reached at semi-final level, that means I won at a club level, area level, division level, district semi-final level I reached, and I still am clueless why I lost that, because I had prepared well. How many times I had practiced? I practiced my speech 40 times. Every day after dinner, I used to go for a walk. It is 7 minutes 30 seconds speech you have to deliver. I just walk. 45 minutes I walk. How many times I can practice?
5 times.
5 times minimum. And for a month, how many practices I have done? Right? And sometimes I missed also, but how many practices I did? And do you know the one who won international speech contest at the global level? Since how long he was preparing?
Last 1-2 years.
1 year. It's not an overstatement. Wherever we go unprepared. And when you are unprepared, you are exposed. In life, wherever. So take it as your karma yoga, as Bhagavad Gita has said. When you have to deliver speech, prepare it. And not only for international speech contest. If you are making your corporate presentation, if you are prepared well, it will come with the message. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
So this is very, very important, okay? So like, as he rightly said, Ashish, write, revise, practice. Rome was not built in a day. It took years, right? Draft well in advance. One IS seminar, as I mentioned just now, he was preparing it for 1 year. 1 year, can you believe it? Right? This is not an overstatement. Right? I have heard his YouTube video, and there are a couple of very good international speeches there on Toastmaster speeches. Go to the YouTube, listen to them, how they deliver. And at area level that is fine, club level it is fine, not it is fine, I would not say it is fine, area level, but the moment you go at a division level, while speaking, you just, somehow you forgot something, you did once, you're out. Why? Because you missed. And then people come so well prepared. I tell you that I contested with the kind of speakers, though I lost because they were much, much better, I must say. So preparation is important. But I'm not scaring you, okay? I'm not scaring you. I just want to prepare you. I just want to prepare, and don't get scared by anything I say. Just you are prepared well and you will deliver. Right? So I'm just over preparing, by which at least it becomes a cake for all of you. Would you all agree? Yes? Okay. So I will skip this because I don't have time. How to draft a speech? I'll send these charts to all of you, particularly this chart. Okay? I'll send to all of you. So the structure of the speech, and this here I will end. Tell them what you are going to tell them, then tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So opening, then body, which is the main content of your speech, and then summarize it. But how to open and how to close, I am going to share it, right? Because see, your opening and closing is going to create a huge impact. Would you all agree? Yes. Judges will remember that how you opened your speech, how you closed your speech. Okay, so it is opening, body, and conclusion. Okay, so here I will stop with level 1, part 1 of my preparation. Any question, by the way? Are you all with me? I mean, am I doing okay? A couple of people yawn, so that means I had to stop. Yes.
You said the best way to practice is to deliver a speech to your spouses. If someone doesn't have a spouse, can we borrow someone else's?
So, there are boundaries there, okay? So, but you may have boyfriend, girlfriend, whosoever, right? Who can criticize you, right? Yeah, so these are. Actually, you record your speech. Actually, you are your best critic. Record your speech and keep watching. Record your speech and keep watching. Record your speech and keep watching. That will really help you exactly what are the areas you need to work on, right? But there is nothing, this is not a rocket science, everybody can deliver speech, okay? So this is, with this, let's get into the prepared speech section. The success of your presentation will be judged not by the knowledge you send, but what listener receives. Very, very powerful quote. Maybe whatever may be the knowledge you have, but how your audience receives, everything depends on that, right? So this is where it starts. Our first speaker is the youngest of our Toastmasters Club member. His father was a Toastmaster member, a very senior man, and now she has joined the Toastmaster Club. She is pursuing a BCom from Delhi University. Hobbies are cycling and playing badminton. One hobby is common between me and her. Pathway is a presentation mastery, and at this age, that is the right pathway she has selected. She is delivering her first speech. Is that so?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay. And who is the evaluator for Diya? Toastmaster Ankit. Would you please share the objective of her speech? Diya, please come on stage.
Toastmaster Diya will be presenting her first speech today, which is everyone has a story to tell, and I am her evaluator. So best of luck, Toastmaster Diya.
Thank you. So icebreaker speech is the first speech somebody delivers. Okay, it is the beginning of the journey of a pathway. So it is her first speech where she introduces herself. Okay, and her title is "Everyone has a story to tell." Diya, everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has a story to tell. Diya, all the best.
We all are product of our experiences. Today, I am standing here to give my icebreaker speech and to introduce myself. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I am Diya Patidar. I was born in Hyderabad and brought up in Gurgaon. I completed my schooling from Amity International School. Coming to my hobbies, I am a very big foodie, and although I may not look like one, I love trying out new recipes in my free time and also explore new restaurants. I am also a travel buff and have a huge list of places I would want to travel to. Not to mention Netflix and sleeping are one of my favorite pastimes. My friends see me as someone who is very social and friendly and who loves to explore new things. Like every parent of a teenager, even my parents wanted me to adopt discipline, bring routine to life, and learn and develop new skills. And like any other teenager, I consider myself a little careless, indecisive, ignorant, and as someone who is still trying to understand myself. As soon as I took the speech slot last week, I started reflecting back upon the 19 years of my life to gather experiences that have shaped me as an individual or defining moments in my life that have helped me grow. After stressing enough for 2 long days, I could not find anything that really stood out or that's, worth sharing. In fact, on Thursday evening, I was just 1 minute away from dropping a message on the group that I am sorry I cannot deliver the speech. But they say everyone has a story to tell. I thought, why not speak about my reason of being here? So during my school-going years, my life has been smooth sailing, comfortable, and very stable. Although secondary years are considered to be difficult and crucial in anyone's life, thanks to COVID, my birth got cancelled. As soon as my schooling years got over, like all my friends, even I started preparing for entrance exams. But my preparation somewhere lacked focus and discipline. So although I was studying, but I wasn't consistent enough. So when the results for the college admissions rolled out, most of my friends were in IIMs, IITs or abroad, basically my dream colleges, and I could not make it. At that very moment, I was filled with instant regret and just one thought in my mind, I wish I studied harder and worked on myself a bit more over the years. But it's never too late to start. So, as I completed my schooling years and realized this, I walked into although I was fortunate enough to get admission in Delhi University, I walked into my college life with the realization that life will not be as smooth and simple and straightforward as it was till now, and I need to work on my skills, knowledge and network to be independent and successful. Sorry.
Yeah, you're doing great.
You're doing great.
Yeah. So, that's when I decided to improve myself every single day, and this club brings me one step closer to my goal. No matter how fortunate and privileged I am with all the support and comfort of my family and friends, it's my hard work in the end that will bring me closer to the life I have manifested for myself. As they say, success occurs when preparation meets opportunity, or when opportunity meets preparation. My goal of being here is that I want to acquire great communication and leadership skills and to learn from all the diverse speakers and experiences of all the diverse speakers and fellow Toastmasters. I look forward to learn from all of you and hope to deliver my next speech soon. Thank you so much.
Of silence to give feedback to the speaker. Okay, so let's get into the second speaker. And the second speaker is Snehlata. She is an HR professional. She plays lawn tennis, swimming, and she does photography. Preparing for international speech contest, and wonderful, I'm so happy. So for this speech there is no path. I mean, this is just the beginning of the preparation for the ISC. And her speech title, first of all, welcome to the stage, Snehlata. Avi, who's Avi? You are the evaluator. Okay. So please share your her objective purpose of this speech. And
today, Toastmaster Snehlata is preparing for an international speech contest, and she has specifically asked me to keep a check on her connect with the audience, her gestures, and what was the last one? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous she is on the stage. So we all will be the judges for that.
Great.
And all the best for your speech.
Wonderful. So the speech title is, what is in the name? Snehlata. What is in the name? What is in the name? Snehlata. All the best to you.
Shakespeare said, "What is in a name? A rose by any other name would still smell sweet. Try calling it a turnip. Still sweet. But I say, there is a lot in your name, especially if you don't like it. My name is Snehlata Singh, and I am a visual person. I visualize things. So when I say Snehlata, I visualize a lady wearing a cotton sari, round spectacle, sitting under a warm winter sun and knitting a cardigan. Now, I don't relate to this personality. I don't have this vibe. Let me tell you one thing about myself, just one thing. I am a very cool person and I have a very cool vibe. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. When I was in 5th standard, my parents sent me to the best school in city, Children College Azamgarh. And there I wanted to shine like a star, nothing less than a star. And initial days went smooth, and then we heard a whisper. Bakul, do you know? Avi, have you heard? And Pranav, are you aware? A new teacher, a new English teacher is going to join our school. And he came, Mr. Sampson, 6 feet tall, dark and handsome, but a voice so shrieking that you don't need a loudspeaker. On his first day, he took English language test, and towards the end of the class, he read out this scores. Ashish, 10 on 10. Kanika, 9 on 10 with distinction. And roll number 3, what is this name? Snehlata Singh. Snehlata, he said, and on 3rd day, he called me Snackslata Singh. Snehlata became my nickname in school, and when teachers were not around, my batchmates would start shouting, "Snake, snake, have you seen a snake? Is snake hiding there? Snehlata, do you make a hiss sound as well? Snehlata, do you walk or do you crawl?" By show of your hands, please tell me if you have ever been bullied in your school. Thank you. Trust me, I know how badly it hurts when you get bullied. And trust me, I know how lonely you feel when you have to eat your lunch alone. And trust me, I know how powerless you became when you want to run towards the door of your class but you can't. Trust me, I know. At my school, I felt dejected, rejected, and neglected. College, no better. Dejected, rejected, and neglected. But then, a defining moment occurred. I joined a Japanese automotive. I started working, ladies and gentlemen. And there, like everybody, I too had a boss. But name of my boss was Bichu. On my first day, he came. Mr. Bichu is 60-year-old Japanese national and walks very fast and talks very slow. So he said, I am Bichu Akito. You can call me Bichu. He did notice the look of shock on my face and then he said, are you enjoying yourself? I said, hi, Bichu. Now don't get me wrong here, hi means yes in Japanese, so I was very well spot on. We started working together. Mr. Bichu knew what his name meant in Indian context, and he was incredibly proud about his name, his nation, and the work he does. We had a conversation with him on names, culture, and our countries, and he said something which stayed with me till date. And he said, Snehata, we all have something in us that we don't like. Our names, schools we went to, our physical features, facial complexion. But courage lies in acceptance and creating an identity for yourself. And I remembered my rose. It too has thorns, but when you see a rose, do you remember a thorn? No. We get swayed away by its beauty and smell. Sweet. And that day I decided I'll accept my shortcomings, I'll accept my name, and I'll create a name for myself. But are you embracing your weaknesses? Are you? And are you creating a name for yourself? Have you? Ain't you? TM.
NCTC, you have a competition. Okay, would you all agree? So let's have 1 minute of silence to give feedback to Snehlata. She is going to represent her club in the international speech contest with a very well delivered speech. Feedback to her. This feedback is very important, so please give good feedback to her. That will help her improve her speech. Yes, time is up. So we get into the third speech from a young, handsome man. He is also from Gurgaon Orators Toastmaster Club, and he has been the Toastmaster member on and off. Oh my God, for the last 3 years. He is going to deliver his first icebreaker speech, again the icebreaker speech. And who is the evaluator? Abhishek is the evaluator, right? Abhishek? Yeah. So Pranam, please come on the stage. What is the path you have taken?
Presentation mastery, but this is an icebreaker, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a presentation mastery. So I mean, for the guest, there are 12 different paths at Toastmaster Club. The moment you really select one path, and there are 15 projects you have to do in that. And there are 5 levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's at level 1, first speech. I am at level 5, and first speech in level 5. So I'll be soon finishing a path now. So, yes.
So, Toastmaster is one of the member of another Toastmaster, the Gurgaon Toastmaster, and he was their member for nearly 3 years. And post that, is coming over there in the MCCC. It is one of, we can say it is a good positive response for our club.
Yes.
People come from the other club coming over here.
Yes. Yeah.
And now coming to his speeches, it is the first speech over there in the MCCC. We can say his high rating as respect to MCCC, but for him, not.
Okay. And he has kept his title secret. Would like to disclose the title?
Just one question. So will it be like 6 minutes or 7 minutes? Because
4 to 6 minutes. So highest outer limit is 6 minutes 30 seconds.
Yes.
Would like to disclose the title?
Actually, don't have a title, but yeah, it's icebreaker. So it'll be walking on thin ice for over 2 years now. So thin ice, breaking thin ice it is.
Thin ice breaking. Okay, thin ice breaking. Pranav. Thin ice breaking. All the best to you. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Scuttling through the village markets, filled to the teeth with splurging crowds, this timid boy of tender age came to a screeching halt. His eyes gleamed over a flurry of marbles coming his way through a quaint alley. Ah, the longing, the heartfelt. Not the right thing, the mind commanded. Good morning, one and all. My name is Pranav, and I'll be taking you through a journey. A part of me wanted to dash away with those glass balls. The other, well, it was raised better. Without giving into those titillations, I hurriedly wrapped up my errands and scampered back home. 4 walls in an extremely dilapidated condition. For the 13 years that are etched into my being, rather decoratedly, we inhabited a place that could hardly fit an almirah, a double bed, and a kitchen combined any which way. What made that home were the assiduous efforts of my father, the constant care for my mother, and the mischiefs of me and my sister. These mischiefs, at least for me, weren't only confined to those walls. They transcended boundaries and made their way all the way to my father's office, the school. You heard it right, my father is a math teacher and was a constant eye over my shoulder throughout my school life. Well, when I say this, not just mine, my sisters and cousins too. On a side note, the Bajaj saved a ton in education. By a ton, I mean lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Now, coming back, it would get you guys thinking that I would have pulled the reins back a touch. Nah. Instead, I went berserk. These 3 siblings combined didn't rattle my dad as much as I did. I was a sight to behold. There wouldn't go a day by in the school wherein one or the other teacher wouldn't come to him grumbling about his son. And being a sweetheart that he is, his only question ever was, is he lacking in studies? Now this was my saving grace. I always kept that area in check. Nonetheless, something was amiss. While I was clearing my exams with flying colors, I was emphatically failing other verticals of life. Without my father's cajoling, I knew it was time to make amends, lest I succumb to coarseness in the name of mischief. I got off my high horse and learned about putting in conscious efforts towards an objective. This was the harbinger of change and an onset of a new chapter in my life. 4 years fast forward, whizzing past through cantonment, running with the school of thoughts, my placement, the start of the GMAT. I finally reached college, situated in the heart of Delhi, a place where I could binge away at all my worries and apprehensions alike. The most prominent of which was the advent of COVID. Against the backdrop of my personal predicaments, COVID seemed to be a prelude to an insurmountable adversity. But mind you, as fate would have it, time at home meant an opportunity to prepare and to wet myself. I was ready to burn the midnight oil, to leave no stones unturned. I spent the next year buried at bettering myself. At least 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. The results Infosys rejection, a master recruiter, 615 GMAT, laughable. It all came crashing down. I was shattered. Utterly dejected, I sobbed like a grieving soul to my parents. Our mother mouth easy. She couldn't hold back, tears started trickling her ever so vibrant cheeks. Weeping like an infant, she embraced me in her arms, the safest haven I had found in months. In between the pauses of her cries, she managed to formulate, "With all the faith I have, I assure you, your plea is not going unheard." I say this not because you're a child, but because I've seen you put in the work. Separating and wiping both of our faces, I went back at hammering the nail. And eventually, the stars did align themselves to confer upon me a respectable job, a good GMAT score, and an ISP admin to the way. In retrospect, these days, which at times seemed gloomy, turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I learned about faith and hope. And even now, circling back to those glass balls, I realized that the imperviousness to those temptations back then, it wasn't about me being better. It was the environment my parents had created for me. I learned about gratitude. You see, whatever you are, it's not just you. It's a mix of circumstances, it's a mix of situation, it's a mix of people that make you what you are. In isolation, I doubt half of us would reach our potential. In isolation, we do not have an identity. In isolation, we are yet but only a speck in a very God's green world. And I hope to meet more such people, hope to interact with more such people in every leg of my life, and hence the Toastmasters journey. We'll keep you all apprised on the same and up to speed on the same. Till then, signing off. Thank you.
One minute of silence. Yes, I do not want to believe this can be an icebreaker speech. Agree with me? Yeah? Wonderful speech. Yes, time is up. So we'll go further. Now I'm getting into part 2, opening and closing. But before I get into that, I want you to do some work. You have pen and paper?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So write down, think of one of the best public speakers you have heard in the past. Are you with me? Yes. And just try to list what were the great attributes of that speaker. Just your time starts now, 30 seconds. What are the great things you saw in that public speaker whom you heard and really he was very admirable to you and you want to emulate that speaker? Write down. Yes. Who would like to share? Yes. Starting from you.
I think the person which I have in mind connects with the audience very well. The confidence level with which he speaks and the articulation of his thoughts. I think these are the three primary things which makes that person a great orator. Confidence,
Articulation.
and audience and articulation.
And audience connection.
Yeah,
Anything other than what he mentioned.
I would say pauses. Pauses are an effective.
Pauses create a punch, so remember that. Yeah, it should not be completely one speech going endlessly. Pauses create punch, it is said in public speaking.
Full control over himself.
Full control over himself.
Control over audiences.
Control over audiences.
Control over content.
Control over content. Ma'am, anything you want to say?
The speaker that I have chose, she always gives courage to the people to go ahead in their life.
They should give courage to them. That's great.
Speaking with conviction.
Speaking with conviction, wonderful.
Bringing example in the content.
Bringing example.
That can connect with the mass of the audience live.
Yes.
Vocabulary and eye contact.
Vocabulary and eye contact.
Thought clarity.
Thought clarity, articulation. Again.
While speaking, thought clarity.
Yes.
Voice modulation.
Voice modulation.
Storytelling.
Storytelling, wonderful.
Emotions related to the content.
Emotions related to the content.
So I've written something like being satirical or being sarcastic that kind of creates some sort of a fun element also while talking and not only
Humor, very important point. Your speech should also bring an element of humor. Any international speech you pick up, there will be an element of humor in that. Every emotion you try to bring in. Anything else missing? Message. Yeah.
A point of entertainment, which is an upper umbrella of humor as well. Either you engage with humor or anything that entertains your audience.
Yes. Anything missing? Inspiring. Yes. Very well said. Anything missing?
Have you covered gestures?
Gesture. Can you just elaborate a little more?
Gestures are cues to convey your message.
Yes. Right. Great. So gesture, physical gesture you are talking about? Yes.
Stage movement.
Stage movement is very, very critical. Very, very important. One more thing which is most of the speakers I find them faltering is eye contact with the audience. The moment you really miss eye contact with a part of audience, that audience is gone. This audience is gone, right? So your eye contact should be either N or W. So your eye should be moving in such a way that at some point in time, your eye should really meet with the eye of one audience member. But if at all, audience is too large, then possibly individual eye contact you cannot maintain. Then your eye contact should be at a level wherein you feel that your head is moving and connecting with one, right? So these are the things we want to keep in mind, right? Now, opening and closing. What do you think about the opening of these three speakers? Was it a plain vanilla opening? All the three had a very, very interesting opening, right? So how different an opening is called hooking the audience. How you start your speech will hook your audience. It is called hooking. How do you use the hook? There are multiple ways. You can start with a joke. But you have to be careful. If at all you crack a joke and nobody laughs, your joke has gone in vain, right? Then a story, I used it. Story. In my public speech, I have used story. Start with a small story. A quotation. Somebody used quotation, right? I think you used one of the two. You used the quotation, right? Startling question to the audience. But again, you have to be very careful. When you start, you ask a question to the audience. What kind of question will put you in an embarrassing situation? Would you like to give some thought on that?
Maybe try putting out questions which do not have a very evocative answer. Maybe a yes or no does, because you do not want to put much control over to your audience.
Excellent. And supposing you are expecting yes and answer comes no.
Then you have to be prepared.
There you should have your presence of mind to turn it around, right? So otherwise it can put you in embarrassment because you were expecting yes and people said no. And you really get lost there. So we have to be very careful. Startling statistics. I have used this, right? And then your personal experience. And all the three did very smart job in that, right? Close with a bang. Again, summary, tell them what you told them. Call to action, a clear message as to what exactly should be done. My speech title, I am coming to that. A story, a quote, a poem, right? A theme dialogue maybe, a question, a rhyme, a laugh, something like that. It is the way it should end. And title. It should be catchy title. It should generate an interest in the people.
and what she is going to speak or he is going to speak. It should generate inquisitiveness in the audience, right? Audience should be eager to know, right? So some of the titles I have mentioned, right? Don't make it very obvious. Make it very interesting, like ouch. One of the international speech contest title was ouch. Now you can't really know exactly what they are going to speak, right? Minister of Loneliness, my speech title was Minister of Loneliness, right? And I built a speech, Micro Iniquities. That was one of the title of my speech. Karishye Vachanantava. Arjuna at the end of Bhagavad Gita stood up and said to Lord Krishna, Karishye Vachanantava. That was my title. Entire speech weaved around the title Gaurav I had shared. When Karishye Vachanantava was my title, then you release rocket around that title. Every story you tell, you again come back to Karishye Vachanantava, Karishye Vachanantava, Karishye Vachanantava. And then I ended also with Karishye Vachanantava. Audience get hooked to your title. Right? So that's what. And one of the contestants who won over me, his title was This Is Not That Story. Wonderful speaker. And I lost to him, and he was a very great speaker, one of the one whom I want to really emulate. So this is what the opening and closing. I'm going a little too fast. Now we are getting into the table topic section, which is second section. So who is the table topic master? Toastmaster Anurag. He has been the member since February 23, very recent member. He's a marketing professional, reading books, that's our common hobby, and listening to music, right? Right, listen to music and go for a walk. So welcome Toastmaster Anurag. He will going to take us through table topic section, and the guests will also get an opportunity to come to the stage and get ready. Okay, so all the best.
So hi everyone, today I am your table topic master, and I would like to give you some as sir mentioned, catchy topics, and you have to speak I think around 2 minutes, on that topic, otherwise you will be lose this based on your timing. So I would just like to give you a hint about kind of topic that I am there are in the chits. So we have questions starting with what, we have questions starting with if, and few questions starting with what if. So they are catchy and they put you in a situation to think and be creative, and all the best. So who would like to volunteer first? Anyone from Toastmasters?
Start from a member, maybe.
Anyone would like to volunteer? Yeah. Abhi 6 minutes. So, So Sony, your topic is what do you imagine yourself doing 10 years from now?
What do you imagine yourself doing 10 years from now?
Yeah.
So myself, for my college self, I started and looking at the movies, various movies, like people come to a car and get out to his office as a key person or just chairman of his company or as a founder of the company. The people walk with a car, with a BMW car, and just stand out from his office. That's when I saw in the movie from the childhood. I want to be one of them. That is my goal, and that goal can be fulfilled. Today in India, we have that opportunity to the entrepreneur journey. And you can look around the world and how the India is going. I also want to become one of the entrepreneurs like them, who can bring lot of jobs in India and give a key opportunity, not for me, but for all the people who are in front of us, in front of our country. So that's I am looking forward to be in the next 10 years as an entrepreneur with having a specialized engineering background or IT background that help in rebuilding the society or bringing a giving a common goal or giving a common aim to the society that yes, there is a lot of scope of doing work in some innovative side of the life. This is how I am looking for.
Now, anyone from guest? Okay, so Ajay, Ajay, his topic is what gets you excited about life. Ajay, what gets you excited about life?
Myself Ajay, and I get excited to watch new movies and travel a lot, and new friends, making new friends, and feel their life, like retrospecting their lives, how they feel in life, what they do in life, and how they experience their life. So I have a good experience of people who have done a lot in life, and I want to learn from their life experience what they have done, and that is my best experience, and I am very excited about that, to learn from their life and experience they have done in their life. So that is what I feel, and I love to do that.
Anything else? Anything else excites you?
Anything else, like if I come about a good financing, so I am a good like I am a good trader, and as well as investment ideas I have. So I deep down the topics, and listen a lot about, and read a lot, write a lot. Thanks everybody.
Thank you. So, we also did a welcome Guru. Please come on stage.
So my topic is, when you are 80 years old, what will matter to you the most?
So Gaurav, your topic is, when you are 80 years old, what will matter to you the most? Toastmaster Gaurav.
So it's a great topic if you think about. It's around 45 years from now. I'm 35 right now. So I think the most important thing which will matter to me, have I lived my life well? And when I say have I lived my life well, whatever I wanted to do, whatever fears I have, whatever things I wanted to achieve, have I made that possible in next 35 years, in next 45 years? I think that is the most important thing. And one of the thing which is the utmost important in my life right now is to conquer this thing of stage and come here, talk to all of you every week, and take out the stage fear. And if I go back to my first speech, which was Dar ke aage jeet hai, till today, I think at least I have, if I may put numbers to it, I have at least 50% conquered. So I think at the age of 80, if I can set whatever problems or fear or whatever things which are important to me in my life, if I can set year by year and achieve them and overcome them, I think at the age of 80, I will be able to say that what I have done, I have achieved it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, Chirag, please come.
Give chance to the guests.
Yes.
Again, the most exciting part. Okay, if you could choose any TV show to be a guest star on, which one would it be and why?
So, Chirag, have a stage.
Okay, so a bit disclaimer, I am not a fan of TV shows, I do not watch them, but like I know a name of, like I guess there is Kapil Sharma show and there is Big Boss also. So I do not watch Big Boss, I haven't watched a single episode of it, but on Instagram we frequently watch reels of that, like few clips, short clips of Big Boss. then I find the concept really interesting that people are like living together in a house and then they are totally like getting recorded. So I would like to join that. Like I haven't watched a single video, but I think I'm pretty good at manipulating people. And then because I consider myself that as a person, if someone is arguing with me, then I have something, I always have something to say in return, and my replies are always one-liner which ends the topic for the person. So I think I would do a great job over there. And as always, I am a bit, I used to have anger issues, and I think that I can use the experience from those in that show, like how you manage your anger. And there are many ways which I learned because I used to have a lot of anger issues in my childhood, and I even have punched a lot of kids in my school because of that. So I think anger management is something which would help me in that show. So I think that Big Boss would be the answer for it.
Yeah, quite. Anyone from guest?
Yeah, he has raised.
She's coming.
Okay.
After that,
Yeah, sure.
so your name?
Alex.
Okay, Malika. Sweet.
Malika.
Malika. Okay, please.
If time travel were possible, which era would you visit and why?
Okay, so have a stage, please.
Yeah, so I'm more fascinated about mythological things. I love mythology more. I used to read about it a lot. So if time travel would be there, then I want to go to the era when the gods were there, when Mahabharata took place, Ramayana took place, because I want to know the essence of life. Like how the life there was so different from here. The people there were so lovely and they were living a life in a very peaceful mode. And here we are struggling each and every day, having something messed up in our life. So just I want to have this thing that how can I change my life into that mode? I can live in this modern era like that. So yeah, I want that to happen.
Okay. Hopefully you get the opportunity to.
Name of the case?
Malika.
And you save this last one. Right?
This is the last one.
What if the bot becomes more intelligent than humans?
Yeah, so your name?
Varun Malik.
So Varun, your title is what if robots become more intelligent than humans?
They already are.
Yeah, so that was my first point, that robots are actually becoming slightly more intelligent than humans. So if they become completely more intelligent than humans, first of all, I will lose my job. So you guys would have to support me financially. So yeah, I mean, we have been talking a lot about this chat GPT and all, how it is replacing a lot of Google search, how it is, automating a lot of stuff which we as consultants do. So I am very much in fear that if robots actually become more intelligent than human, a lot of people like us would be laid off. But on the other hand, it gives a good opportunity for us to get more efficient. Because I was talking to my team and I was telling them that, if robot or AI become more intelligent than us, then they'll do nothing but they'll make it, they'll make us more intelligent. They'll make us more efficient in terms of, doing our work. And we would be able to articulate our thoughts well, we would be able to, perform even at a better rate, better pace. And as you see throughout the history, right, if you look at Olympics, the initial record for, 100 meter sprint was like, 20-25 seconds, but now it has gone down to less than 10 seconds. As a human race, it has been evolving, and there is a limit to which human can evolve, like capacity that you were mentioning. In order to evolve further, we need technological interventions, and that is the reason why we have to rely significantly on technology, and we have to ensure that they are making our lives, our entire ecosystem more efficient. And in order to secure my job, I would probably want to learn some technology so that I can contribute to make them more intelligent.
Okay.
So give feedback to him on how he conducted the table topic section, and then we get into 1 minute silence to give feedback to him. Time is up. Okay. And now this is the last part of my DMOD theme. Do's and don'ts. I'll quickly go through. So first let us look at what are the do's. Okay. First do's is have a hook to reel the audience in. So as I mentioned, right, I mean your beginning should be such that it can hook know your audience where you are delivering the speech. Involve the audience if you can, because that will really engage audience. Otherwise, at one point in time, audience will get lost also. Research a must for informative topic. If at all you are presenting a research topic and you don't present any research data, it makes no sense. So always use rhetorical devices. Rhetorical devices. Do you know what is rhetorical devices? They are called triads. They are called metaphor, analogies, figurative speech. Right? So that will decorate your speech. And if you type rhetorical devices in Toastmaster, there is entire article on that. What kind of rhetorical devices you can use to decorate your speech. It will really elevate your speech a lot. If you need that content, I have prepared one entire presentation on rhetorical devices. The people who are participating in international speech contest, I can send that to you. Alright, and so use rhetorical devices. Use props. Like the way she used, what prop she used? Rose, right? So use the prop accordingly, right? And end with a call to action. Say, my Karishe Vachananta, what I say, that Lord Krishna comes in everybody's life, right? You have mentor all around. That will make you say Karishe Vachananta. Find your mentor. There are people, Lord Krishna is surrounding you. There are people around you. They can make you really say Karishe, I mean, I'm committed to deliver. So that will call to action. Practice in front of mirror. Record your speech. Like, I mean, when I delivered my speech and I was going at a division level, my entire club members, they helped me. A lady who was a member here now, she is in UK, London. She conducted a 1.5 hour call with me. And she told, Bakul, your opening is too long. You are hurrying up your closing. That's not the way to do it. She really mercilessly asked me to cut my opening. So just use the resources within the club. Speak in front of spouse and children, I mentioned. Always study the ballot. Go through ballot 3 times. It will help you. And discuss with your mentors. Okay? Don't. Stay away from controversial topics, politics and religion. Somewhere I was pointed out, even though my topic was not religious, but one really evaluator pointed out that you had more of a religious point. Right? The speech should not be too numbers heavy. Yeah, you keep throwing numbers. No, that's not. This is a 7.5 minute speech. Be careful while using humor. It should not hurt somebody. Or it should generate humor when you have intended to generate humor. Don't commit too many grammatical errors. Of course, it is only 5 marks out of 100 marks. Don't make it over dramatic. Right? At least I am against that. These are not stage plays. These are speeches. Right? So don't make it too dramatic. If at all drama is a part of your speech and it makes it very natural, that's fine. Otherwise, no. So, what are the 3 tips? Finally, end with 3 tips. What will they be?
Be yourself.
No. Practice. 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 Thank you so much. I hope ending with a speech is a compelling story. Now give me feedback, okay? So whether I did it.
I just wanted a couple of questions.
Yeah, please.
How to pick a topic to speak on, right?
Right. So how to pick a topic? That's a very interesting story. See how I picked up topic. See how topic comes. I was reading a newspaper on 26th January and found like Japan appointed a minister of loneliness. It was very striking thing too. Minister of loneliness, my God, I mean, how minister of loneliness? And then I read the detail. That became a topic for me. Like anger, somebody mentioned anger, right? And anger itself became a topic for me. And my topic title was, if you lose temper, you lose. That became. So sometimes, I mean, you keep observing, like say for example, judgment. We keep passing on judgment. We keep judging people very fast, right? And somebody was delivering a speech, and from their idea struck like this thing, and I created. And then mainly the topic should come from your life. Karishe Vachanantava, like in my life journey, Lord Krishna came so many times in different forms, and those Lord Krishna, the people, like Lord Krishna doesn't come from heaven and really uplift you. It comes in the form of the people there, they uplift you, right? So then from there I picked up a story. So from your life experiences, more you read, you will find more topics. That's the way I select my topics. I can send you the list of the topics. And so look at it and keep observing it from the topic keeps coming. That's a generic answer I can give you. Any other question?
Sir, how do we control our fear when we come upon the stage right before a speech?
If you have practiced well, see, never think there is no fear. Actually, I made one presentation over here on how to command the room. It was a very, very interesting blog I read. How to command a room, right? And that blog is written by a Stanford professor. Right? When you come on the stage, before even speaking even a word, how can you command this room? Your audience, your stage, how you stand, right? Everything will generate a new vibrations in the room. I'll send that presentation. Possibly there is a YouTube video also on that, because I presented it here. I think the people like it there. But I can send the blog to all of you. You read that blog, right? Very, very powerful. Your fear will go. She has done it an excellent research. But to cut a longer answer short, if you practice well, you will be very, very confident. But nervousness, sabko hota hai. But you don't show that nervousness. That's okay. Any other question?
You practice your speech quite often, right? You cram the speech. So how do you manage there while you're delivering the speech? Like cramming speech, you cram the speech after so many practices.
Yeah. Cramming the speech, one should not cram the speech, because cramming the speech and what happened in her case, Dia's case, right? Gone, right? But if you have practiced 40 times, then it will become very natural. It will come very fluent. Why it happened in her case? She practiced less, right? I mean, just take it in the right spirit, right? She did a wonderful job. But if you practice less, then it will become a very natural flow of the speech. Even if you have crammed it, it will not look as if you have crammed it. Right? The word will come very, very naturally. Because how brain works, anybody psychologist here? No. And why repetition is mother of retention? Recently I came from my advanced yoga teachers training course, and there were 5 lectures only on the brain, how brain functions. And there is a concept called neuroplasticity. Right? Anything you keep repeating, brain develops that a neural path. Let me give. Can I take a minute to explain? When my office got changed, right? First 10 days, 5 days I went to the old office. Why it happened? Because there was a neural path built that I have to take a right turn from here. And I always used to take right turn and go, because I have done it donkey number of years. My brain has a memory. So that memory. But if at all I become very conscious at that point, and then 20 days I go to this side, a new neural path will build. And then naturally you will go to that side. Are you getting my point? So brain memorizes the neurons that passes the information from the stimuli, right? I mean, there are 5 senses, right? From there the neuron passes the information to the brain. But if at all it goes repeatedly, a new neural path will build. Similarly, in this case, in memorizing the speech, if you practice 20-30 times, then a neural path is built. Automatically that word will come, and it will not look as if you are speaking, you have crammed your speech. Does that answer your question? So very, very neurology works there. Yeah, any other question? Sir?
How to give an interesting and engaging speech on a not so interesting topic?
My God. Any topic?
Like suggest any
Yeah.
recent earthquakes in Turkey and Syria.
India's GDP.
Benefit of becoming old.
Sorry?
Benefit of becoming old.
Benefit of becoming old, right? Like so, recently I gave my farewell speech when I got retired on 31st December, so 12th was my retirement. How did I start? Right? It's a very boring topic, like talking about your retirement. I said, the biggest benefit I am going to get from tomorrow is I am going to get senior citizen discount wherever I go. I can break the queue. I have a separate queue. So, when the topic is boring, try to bring more humor element. That is one way to do it. Second way to do it, when the topic is boring, don't make it monologue. Engage audience. Engage audience. Instead of speaking, ask questions. If, like I mean, say, like getting old, right? I mean, so then instead of me speaking, if at all I get old, what I'll do? What I'll say? Hey guys, you are all youngsters. Would you like to tell me when you get old, what do you want to do in your life? Now you are engaging audience. Are you getting my point? So when you engage audience, you don't get lost. The audience doesn't get lost. But otherwise it becomes boring. In training, fundamental facilitation skills, I have done my diploma in training and development. And fundamental principle which is taught in training is don't, the word which is not coming to my mind is like vomit. Don't vomit, don't regurgitate and tell everything. Facilitate. Facilitation mein audience involvement is very critical aspect. So involve always audience. Involve always audience. Of course, in 7.5 minutes you cannot do, you can't afford to do that. But there, one or two questions related to the topic and one or two humor elements that will keep engaging the audience. That's what's coming to my mind on the topic. Any other thing? Does it make sense to all of you? Hello? Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah, okay. So with this I'll end. I mean, there is no end to it now. Last section is still there. I'm here. I have enough material on this. If you want, I can share everything with everybody because knowledge is to share. And so I have 3 presentations on how to deliver speeches. Rhetorical devices, I have a presentation how to use rhetorical devices. And there are hundreds of examples I have put there. So you can really use them as a reference. Right? Yeah, so that's what. And then how to command room and stage. There is a presentation on that. I'll share that as well. So with this, let us invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Son, to take.
Thanks, Toastmaster Bakul. I read it somewhere that goal is not to be perfect at the end. Goal is to be better tomorrow. This sentence perfectly applies to Toastmaster meetings. That everybody comes here with a goal to be better tomorrow. With that goal, I'll invite all the evaluators one by one. First evaluator with us is Toastmaster Ankit. I would request Toastmaster Ankit to come forward and evaluate Toastmaster Diya's speech.
So today I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Diya, and it was her ice-breaking speech, and I really liked your speech, Diya. And before speech, she said that she'll be speaking about her personal story, about her own experience that she had from her life, and she really nailed that part. I hope all of the guys sitting here would agree with me that she shared her interests, like she's a travel buff, a foodie, a socially a very friendly nature that she have, and also like some other personal things like her birthplace, which is Hyderabad. And also she was very honest, like she told how in the COVID her 12th examination got cancelled, and she was stressing for 2 days, and she wanted to drop a message on the WhatsApp to quit this icebreaker speech. And there are some positive aspects to her speech as well, like her voice was very crystal clear. I could understand every single word she was saying. Her voice was not gibberish at all. And she stopped for 4-5 seconds, but then she started again as well. Like she didn't quit the speech in between, she continued the speech till the end, which is a very positive thing. And also a very interesting thing is that she was very mature, because some of the things which she said, I was very surprised. She said it's never too late to learn something, and success is when opportunity meets preparation, and a person should improve every single day. So I was very surprised, like how she's talking such a mature things. And because of this, I disagree with only one thing that she said, that teenagers are indecisive, ignorant. I don't agree at all, because she's not an indecisive and ignorant teenager. And with that, I want to give some recommendations as well. At many instances, it appeared to me that she was speaking line by line. Try to be a little natural and take right pauses. Like after finishing a sentence, just take a pause. Let the audience sink in that message. The audience should be able to understand what you are trying to speak. So one sentence finished, just take a 2-3 second pause and then speak again. So you'll be having a better communication with the audience, and people will be able to understand what you are speaking, and it would look a little bit natural as well to what you are saying. And stage movement, because I felt that you were standing in this portion of the stage and you were moving only this much. Use the whole stage, and this is a problem with me as well. I just stand like this here and I speak, but what I have seen some great speaker some of the great speakers that speak here is that they cover the whole stage. Sometimes they go here and they come to the center of the stage and then they go here, which is it looks very good to the people who are sitting in the audience, and it helps the person who is speaking to communicate better. And use some voice modulation as well to stress on the points, and practice well. It would help you to avoid going blank in the speech. But in the conclusion, I would say that speech was great. I really liked it, and just keep on improving. So over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. We have second evaluator, Toastmaster Avi. I would like to welcome him.
What's in a name? Toastmaster Snail Lata started her speech with a quote and brought out a flower, which quickly captured the attention of the audience. She used vivid imagery and descriptive language to paint a picture in the minds of the audience. For the benefit of the speaker, I've divided my contents evaluation into two parts. First is the speech delivery and second is the contents. I'll be giving you recommendations based on your speech delivery and contents. Coming on to the contents for your speech delivery, you had a great voice modulation. The way you were using voices in between when certain quotes, that was really great. For example, when you use the quote "shine like a star," your voice got a little high, and just like that, it got high and low on other parts of your speeches. You had a great character enactment of all the persons that you were telling about in your speeches. Coming on to the contents, the speech was relatable. You incorporated your personal story in your speech. You used the topic of bullying and how you asked audience that if anyone was bullied with their time. You picked up names from the audience, which was a great way to build a connection. The way you juggled between the funny moments and the serious moments of your speeches was really great. It was amazing. Now, coming on to the recommendations for your speech delivery. The way you used you can use a little bit more pauses in between your words. For example, when you use the word "I was dejected," "rejected," "neglected," use it like this: dejected, neglected. A better way to use it: "I was dejected, rejected, neglected." So when you make a little bit pauses between your words, the command on words get even more better. And you can work on your expressions a little bit more. Your stage presence was amazing. You used the stage amazingly. Your eye contact was a little bit missing with the audience, but you can surely improve that. Coming on to your recommendations for your contents. Have a strong call to action at the end of your speech. A really strong call to action. You had a great start. Your body conclusion was a little bit short, fall short. So, to summarize it all, your content was amazing. You connected with the audience. Your gestures were on point. Just a little bit command on words, and you are going to thrive. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi. We have third evaluator, Toastmaster Ravi. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Ravi to the stage. Over to you, Toastmaster Ravi.
Constructive feedback is the key to improvement. We all need people who can give us feedback. That is how we improve. Coming to the speaker, I have three recommendations and two recommendations for the speakers. Starting with the commendation part. The speaker started with dramatic story that hooked the entire audience at a moment to the stage. And again, at that moment, the speaker was confident. That can be look on his body language and body gesture and his voice. You can find the confidence in the speaker voice. That made the audience look, yes, the speaker had come up with more practice. And now it is best time to listen to the speaker. This is how the speaker captured the audience attention. Second, the pauses. Most precious thing in the speech is pauses. And the speaker has placed that pauses in the speech. So that you can look around when he said the result of GMAT is 650. At that time, the speaker has taken 2-second pauses to emphasize that 650 has a huge impact in his life because he has given a huge amount of 4 years of time in preparing for the GMAT. So he has emphasized that point. Now coming to the other thing is the 4 year. When the speaker has said that 4 year, he has taken out the forefinger. So emphasize that the forefinger has some meaning over there with the content. Third, the emotion, the voice modulation. When the speaker talking about his mothers, the voice modulation has gone down. So that gives another impact to the audience. Yes, the speaker has some reaction and some emotion on that more when he is speaking about the mothers. So these are the three commendations from the speaker on his speech. Now every speech has some recommendation that help the speaker to get or to go to the next level in after improving itself. The first, the focus. If you look around the speaker's speeches, most of the time he was looking at the Bakul Joshi first 2 rows. He missed out the bus for the last benches because I was sitting the last benches. Second, the fast speech. When the speaker was speaking, somewhere he went to the within 3 seconds he spelled out in the first 3 seconds or 2 seconds he spelled out the entire sentence. So at that time I missed out what the speaker is spelling word to word. So this happened 2 to 3 times. So if the speaker has taken it more slowly and giving more voice emphasis, so that line which has get missed out has been giving more impactful to the entire audience. And that is all. As a summary, I can say high confidence body language we can see in the speaker and dramatic action can be seen. So that is the summary. All the speech have been impactful to the entire audience. Thank you.
I would first timer.
The timer should be at the end.
I would request Gregorian to come forward and present his report.
So wonderful usage of grammar, and I would first start with the good usages and of phrases and grammatical languages. Firstly, Bakul sir, the repetition is mother of attention. Truly, I heard this first time and it's very impactful, very true. A speech is a compelling story. The way you said this was also compelling. And One used was from Snehalata, courage lies in acceptance. And from Diya, success is when opportunity meets preparation. Wonderful usages. Now comes to the not so good usages where we can improve a bit. Although I was studying, but I was not consistent. We can't use although and but in one single sentence. So either use although or but. One of the thing which is very important. So one of the things which is very important. Coming on to the contents. Coming on to the content. So contents is nothing is pure. One sentence in the starting I miss out. Since it was in the starting, I missed out just a tense. And one last. What I have done, I have achieved. What I have I think it should have been what I have wished I have achieved. It was in the part 80 years where, yeah. So now coming to the usage of word of the day. It was used 2 times by Bakul sir and 1 time by guest Varun. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kritika. Now, I would request our counter to come forward and present his report. Please help me welcoming Toastmaster Ayush.
So from the beginning, TM Harsh used so once, TM Ashish used so thrice, 12 times, TM Bakul used so 6 times, twice, and 12 times. TM Chirag used so once, thrice. TM Sonu used once. TM Anurag used so 8 times and 8 times. TM Gaurav used once so and once In prepared speeches, TM Diya used 1 long pause, twice, once. TM Snindata, I didn't find any errors, and in TM Pranav also I didn't find any errors. In table topics, TM Abhishek used so twice, TM Gaurav used once, TM Chirag used so thrice, twice. Guest Ajay used 6 times, so thrice. Guest Malika, I didn't find any problems. Guest Varun used so thrice, thrice. In evaluations, TM Ankit used so 4 times, 15 times. TM Avi used twice. Thank you.
Now it's time to see our timers report. I would request Toastmaster Gaurav to be here and present his report.
Thanks so much. So Samir is back. I'll start with Toastmaster Harsh, Sajid and Arms. The allotted time was 2 minutes, you took 2 minutes. Very well in control. Bakulji, you took 30 minutes in total. Toastmaster Chirag, Joke Master, you took 1 minute for your joke. Toastmaster Ashish, you took 5 minutes, allotted time was 6 minutes. Prepared speeches, Toastmaster Diya, the total time allotted for you was 6 minutes, you took 5 minutes. Toastmaster Snehilata, you took 6 minutes. And Toastmaster Pranav, you took 6 minutes, allotted time was 6 minutes. So I think very well in time, everyone when it comes to prepared speeches. For table topics, total time allotted 12 minutes, Toastmaster Anurag, so you were well within time. I'll start with Toastmaster Abhishek, you took 1 minute 30 seconds. Guest Ajay, you took 1 minute 15 seconds. I took 1 minute 15 seconds. And Toastmaster Chirag, you took 1 minute 45 seconds. I think you have learned from your last time. Guest Malika, you took 1 minute. Last one is guest 1 on YouTube 1 minute 30 seconds. For the evaluation thing, Toastmaster Ankit, you took 3 minutes 30 seconds, well within, like, I think bang on time, because 30 seconds are extra always given. So Toastmaster Avi, you took 2 minutes 45 seconds, and Toastmaster Abhishek, you took 3 minutes. Talking about the auxiliary role player, Toastmaster Kritika, you have taken 2 minutes, allotted time was 3 minutes. Toastmaster Ayush, you have taken 2 minutes, allotted was 3 minutes. And Toastmaster Sonu, for general evaluator, I am still waiting for your feedback. Thank you so much.
Now it's time for the general evaluators report, and I believe everyone is waiting for that because everyone wants to hear about himself. We have seen the specific evaluator for the speeches, but not for all the role players. So I'll be telling you about the meeting as a whole. I reached at this place at 10:17, and I saw the members preparing for the meeting, like writing on the board, arranging the chairs and doing all other preparation. Still we got delayed. We started the meeting at 10:33 and the timing to start the meeting is 10:32. 10:30 and that delay of 3 minutes was because of some technical glitch. We could not set that presentation display there. So we have to be little bit careful regarding that. Now moving on. Surgeon at Arms, Toastmaster Harsh. Good job done. I think you have taken this job at the last moment, right? Right? Yeah. So, good job done by Toastmaster Harsh. And moving on to Toastmaster Ashish. Full of energy, good morning 3 times. And third time, yes, it was really full of energy. Again, I want to say good morning.
Good morning.
Though it is not good morning. 2 great announcements for the help of members and the EC members. Guests were introduced in a good manner. First, one suggestion, just one recommendation, that whenever we are introducing the guest, just ask the members to put their hands together so that guests would feel more valued. TMOD, Toastmaster Bakul. Seasoned Toastmaster, I always see him full of energy, speaking from his belly with full heart. He always put all his energy whenever he is speaking. He is just not on the stage, he is out of the stage also. Just one recommendation that I can give, that whenever we want to give some name, so don't give the name of someone who had just delivered the speech.
Okay.
It may be sometimes discouraging also. So moving on now to the role players, auxiliary role players. That first role player, Toastmaster Kritika. Yeah. She did not refer the script. She had that in her mind. She had a very detailed report. One thing I liked about her, that she had some good uses of the phrases or the sentences used in the meeting. Kudos to you. Moving on, Toastmaster Ayush, our counter, he had a detailed report. Just one suggestion, these are small roles, and if we come prepared, like without referring the script, it will be better. It will increase your confidence. Moving on to Toastmaster Gaurav, very detailed report. Always I see that calm person in him. And one suggestion for him also, that whenever we already have taken the role well in advance, we should be prepared with the script. Now, speakers are coming to the table topic master. Table topic master, Toastmaster Anurag. Though topics were catchy, but I found them to be little bit lengthy. And the second thing is, somewhere whenever we are coming for the role of table topic master, we have to be, we need to tell to audiences what is the importance of this section. So I felt that you have missed that, so please keep that in mind. Coming to table topics speakers. Yes, I have a report for them also. Toastmaster Abhishek, good pick, good flow. Guest Ajay, good courage to stand up and deliver a speech on a topic where that you don't know what is next. Toastmaster Gaurav, nice take on the live your life full. Toastmaster Chirag, I already have spoken about you. Guest Mallika, good courage to stand and speak. Guest Varun, you started the speech with the humor. You engaged all the audiences. Good thought process. Agility to think quickly and deliver the speech without any preparation. Kudos to you. Yeah, moving on. All the speakers already have been evaluated by specific evaluators. Now I'll give the report regarding evaluators. Evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Ankit. So it was encouraging evaluation, and where one thing that I liked about you about the evaluation, that was a long pause by the speaker was given a good turn, positive turn. So it was very encouraging. Only one recommendation is this was an icebreaker speech, and in the icebreaker speech, the purpose of the speech itself is to introduce himself. So as such, more recommendations are not required. So one recommendation is more than enough. Now moving on to Toastmaster Avi. Good energy, good voice. Only single recommendation that you can, in place of you can, you should say speaker can. And the second thing is handshake. We have to handshake with the full confidence, not like that. Toastmaster Abhishek, encouraging evaluation, and same recommendation for you also. This was icebreaker speech, so only one recommendation is more than enough. So this was all about, I think I have given the report for all the role players, and this is my evaluation report, and I enjoyed the session thoroughly, and hopefully you all have enjoyed it. With this, over to you, Toastmaster Ashish.
So how was the meeting today? Great. Thanks to Toastmaster Bakul, who shared all the tools and tips for the international speech contest, or in general how to deliver a good speech. And I think you must be feeling encouraged to participate in the contest. So far, if you have not nominated yourself, please send your nomination. Speak to me. Even you feel like you are away from one or two speeches from your level 2, and even then you are wanting to participate, just get in touch with me. Well, just want to see how much attentive you were during the meeting. Just tell me the name, the speech topic of Snelata, Toastmaster Snelata.
What is the name?
Okay. Now tell me the speech topic of the speaker number 3, Pranav. Topic was there.
Are you waiting the thin line?
Yeah. Well, I think everybody were listening to this, everyone quite attentively. I think in the interest of the time, voting link has already been shared with all of you.